Failure. What does it mean? Well, the official definition is state or condition not meeting a desirable or intended objective, or very simply put, lack of success. For many of us, this can be a scary term, and rightly so. I mean, who wants to not achieve what they set out to do? And who in their right mind is happy to not be successful? Not me, not you, right? Well, this is what I thought, and so I discovered that failure can actually be a great thing, and why this is will be the main theme of today's video. I think the best way for me to get this message across is to share some stories of some famous failures, how they've resulted in massive successes. What they all have in common is that even when all odds were against them, they refused to give up. So, famous failure number 1. He was cut out of his high school basketball team because simply he wasn't tall enough. As a sophomore, he was only 5'10". There was space for only one more player, and this was given to his friend, who was 6'6". Devastated when his name was not on the list, it was the ultimate defeat and failure for this athlete. Heartbroken and ready to give up, this athlete then did what champions do. He let this failure and disappointment drive him to be better, and used it to fuel him rather than consume him. Today, he's considered as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan, and this is what he has to say about failure. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shots and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Famous failure number 2. I was jobless, a lone parent, and as poor as you could possibly be in modern Britain without being homeless. She said this in a commencement speech at Harvard University in 2008. By every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew. These are the words of J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, whose book series has been translated into 73 languages, sold over 400 million copies, and made over $400 million from just book sales alone. Her first manuscript was rejected by over a dozen publishers until one finally agreed to give it a shot. It was not giving up and her perseverance that led J.K. Rowling to bring the world of Harry Potter to our world. When discussing failures, Rowling said, "It's impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default." Famous failure number 3. At the age of 22, he was fired from his newspaper job for not being creative enough or not having any original ideas. However, his visions as an animator, filmmaker, and theme park developer that changed the entertainment industry forever. Walt Disney, founded what is today known as one of the largest entertainment companies in the world, endured many failures before creating the happiest place on earth. Today, he still holds the record for the most number of Oscars won by one individual, with 59 nominations and winning 26 Oscars. This is what Walt Disney had to say about failure. It's good to have a failure while you're young, because it teaches you so much. For one thing, it makes you aware that such a thing can happen to anybody, and once you've lived through the worst, you're never quite as vulnerable afterwards. There's so many successful failure stories out there, and I highly recommend, if you get a chance, to have a look at them. It's a great source of inspiration. My key take from these messages and stories is that failure is not a reflection of our own self-worth, or it's not a measure of how good or bad we are, but instead it's a process we all have to go through to reach greatness. Now, knowing this, let's start to embrace failure, and let's stop creating a fear for it. All fear of failure does is that it stops us from even trying to take the next step to us living to our greatest potential. My name is Krish Parekh, and you've been watching The K's Word. Until next time, peace out.